The United States is currently working on a new nuclear bomb. Do Russia and China have reason to fear? As the nuclear issue is once again becoming relevant in world politics, it is manifesting itself in a variety of ways. Israel's Minister of Heritage Affairs, Amichai Eliyahu, recognized the use of nuclear weapons in the Gaza Strip, while Russian President Vladimir Putin signed a law to withdraw the ratification of the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty. In response, the United States has already calculated the number of potential victims of a hypothetical nuclear strike aimed at Moscow and St. Petersburg. On October 27th, the Pentagon unveiled plans to create a new nuclear gravity bomb that would be 24 times more powerful than the nuclear explosion in Hiroshima. In this video, we will look at what this new American nuclear weapon will look like and why the Pentagon made this decision. Now let's look at this issue in more detail. In 2017, in the context of the development of the B61 Mod 12 aircraft bomb, the U.S. National Nuclear Security Administration, NNSA, presented general strategies for the further development of tactical and strategic nuclear weapons for the Air Force. The plan envisioned maintaining the existing arsenal with some changes as needed over the next 2 decades. It was planned to start developing a new modification of the B61 bomb in 2037, and the B61 Mod 13 was to be introduced into service by 2050. These plans remained relevant until recently, but on October 27th, the Pentagon announced the official adoption of a new plan. According to the report, in recent months, experts from the military department and the NSA have been analyzing the current situation and possible scenarios, looking for ways to further improve nuclear weapons. In response to changes in the military political situation and the emergence of new threats, it was decided to accelerate the development of nuclear weapons. The development of the next B61 bomb will not be delayed until the end of the next decade, and the Mod 13 project is scheduled to be launched shortly. Below, we will look at the definitions used by Pentagon officials when talking about the changing military and political situation and the emergence of new threats. Before that, however, let's look at what a new gravity-type nuclear bomb is likely to look like. It should be noted that the term gravity simply means that this weapon will be dropped from an airplane, similar to the famous Little Boy and Fat Man bombs that were dropped on August 6 and 9, 1945, on the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, respectively. The technical characteristics of the future aircraft bomb remain unknown. However, the latest official publication reveals the basic concepts of the new project and allows us to make assumptions. It is important to note that nothing fundamentally new is expected in this bomb. The fundamental design of thermonuclear charges has remained unchanged since March 1, 1954, when the United States tested a 15-megaton Bravo bomb on Bikini Atoll, or since November 22, 1955, when the first Soviet two-stage 1.7 megaton RDT-B-37 exploded over the Semipalatinsk test site in the USSR, demolishing almost half of the test site. In general, for the B61-13, we mean the use of already proven development methods, solutions, and components, similar to several previous modifications of the B61 product. In fact, the new B61-13 bomb will be developed based on the existing and already fielded B61 Mod 7 munition. The production of the improved design will be organized based on the existing arsenal of old products, where Mod 7 bombs will be repaired, restored, and modernized with the help of the modern design of the Mod 13. It is important to note that the same approach was used to create the B61-7. At the turn of the 80s and 90s, these products were modified from the existing B61 Mod 1. However, unlike other bombs in this family, the B61-7 was positioned as a strategic weapon. Pentagon reports do not indicate any significant changes to the original design. The new version of the bomb will likely retain the long streamlined body with tail fin and rudders. The external dimensions and shape of the B61-13 are likely to remain unchanged from the recently adopted B61-12, which is 3.6 meters long, 330 millimeters in diameter, and weighs at least 300 to 400 kilia. The B61-7 is a strategic munition and is currently used only on the B-2A long-range bomber. The new bomb, given the expected timing of its commissioning, can also be used on the new generation B-21 bombers, which we discussed in one of our videos. There are no plans to expand the list of carriers. Let's now consider the reason for the Pentagon's decisive revision of nuclear weapons development plans and the speed of the new project's launch. In general, this is easy to understand, as it is related to the overall modernization of nuclear arsenals as part of broader programs and strategic plans. The U.S. strategic and tactical nuclear forces have long been criticized, and any new project in this context is significant. Compared to Russia and China, which are actively modernizing their nuclear forces, the United States has not improved its armed forces for a long time, which creates unacceptable risks for the country's strategic security. In addition, the B61 Mod 13 project will allow the Pentagon to save money. This project involves the redesign of the existing B61 bomb with the replacement of parts and new capabilities. A similar approach has been successfully used in the development of other modifications of the B61 family, including the latest Mod 12 project. Now, this approach will be applied to the B61-13 project, limiting changes to the original design and ensuring that all the desired results are achieved without significantly increasing the cost. The Pentagon is not only planning to modernize its arsenal and save money, but also has more ambitious goals. The B61-13 design shows that one of the main goals of the project is to improve the performance of the aircraft bomb. This will be achieved by using a standardized control system, which will be the key difference between the advanced Mod 13 and the basic B61-7. The circular probable deviation will not exceed meters or tens of meters, which will allow for a fuller use of the warhead's potential at a yield of 10 QT to 340 QT. Consequently, the Pentagon is seeking to begin the development of another thermonuclear munition for strategic aviation and is currently awaiting congressional approval. With the new B61 Mod 13 guided thermonuclear bomb, the military plans to solve various problems and gain new capabilities, while also providing cost savings and other benefits. However, at the moment, these are only strategic plans that require time and funding to implement. Work on the B61-13 can be completed in the next few years, and by the end of the decade, this bomb will solve the problem of rearmament and modernization of arsenals. However, it should be borne in mind that the success of all plans within a reasonable time frame and without unnecessary costs remains in doubt. In addition, it is not known how the geopolitical situation will change and whether the B61 Mod 13 will meet the requirements and objectives at the time of its commissioning. Unexpectedly, many U.S. military officials and experts view the development of the B61 Mod 13 bomb as a step in the right direction. However, this is considered only an initial step, as stated by House member Mike Rogers, who noted, "While we welcome the development of a B61 variant that will allow the Air Force to better reach protected and deeply underground targets, this is only a modest step in the right direction." A joint statement from the Armed Services Committee and Senator Roger F. Wicker emphasized that the B61-13 is a long-term vision and not the final solution, but it will provide more flexibility to commanders, especially in INDOPACOM and EUCOM, to meet these objectives. As the Strategic Policy Commission recently noted, China and Russia are engaged in a full-scale arms race, while the United States remains in place. To counter this threat, a radical transformation of deterrence policy is needed, not incremental or partial changes. INDOPACOM is responsible for planning operations and managing U.S. forces in the Indo-Pacific region, while EUCOM is responsible for the same in the European region. In other words, many U.S. military officers, politicians, and experts believe that the U.S. is currently lagging far behind China and Russia in the field of nuclear weapons, which is a key component of the country's strategic security. It is important to note that the commissioning of the B61-13 bomb does not solve this problem. Therefore, it is strange to perceive with enthusiasm the statement of many people that Newsweek, using the NukaMap service, simulated a nuclear strike by the U.S. B61-13 bomb with a capacity of 360 kilotons on the territory of Russia. If the strike had occurred in Moscow, home to 12.6 million people, about 480 people would have been killed and 868,860 injured. At the same time, the radioactive consequences would have significantly affected everyone within a 3-kilometer radius. The survivors would have been at high risk of cancer. If the bomb had fallen on St. Petersburg, the number of victims would have increased significantly. 360,150 people would have been killed and 685,930 people would have been injured. We understand the emotions of these people. Many people do not like Putin's aggression against Ukraine, and the desire to retaliate against the aggressor is understandable. However, we should realize that Russia is the country with the largest number of nuclear warheads. A nuclear strike against it would immediately provoke a large-scale nuclear response. In addition, the new Sarmat intercontinental missile, which the Russians are introducing to replace their famous Satan, carries 10 warheads with a yield of 750 kilotons each, more than twice as powerful as the B61 bomb. One such missile could destroy France. Thus, there is no cause for alarm. However, the United States must modernize its nuclear weapons. Unfortunately, the modern world is so organized that only parity in nuclear weapons can keep our planet from World War III. Balanced arsenals of thermonuclear warheads create a strategic balance that makes it impossible for anyone to freely scatter the world with nuclear weapons. The fear of a thermonuclear response serves as a powerful deterrent. What is your opinion on the current nuclear arms race? Do people have the ability to reach an agreement with each other and avoid a nuclear catastrophe? Share your thoughts in the comments. This concludes our discussion of the new American bomb. If you liked the video, like is an acknowledgement of our work. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell so you don't miss other interesting videos about modern weapons that we regularly publish.